Hello everybody, and welcome back to Nancy's Room, Midnight in Salem. So I accidentally hit my mouse, by the way, you may have heard that a while ago. But anyway, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and continue. So it is point and click, you're not moving around with the WASD keys, which is really weird because they wanted to make this... Hi! You really are taking this side-by-side thing to a whole nother level, aren't you, Deirdre? Why can't I go off to this? What do you want?
Head right for the judge. What do you think?
Sure.
Sounds good. Let's go meet the judge.
Yeah, let's go.
Something I want to mention as well. I am enjoying this, but I really miss Lonnie Manila. This new one I don't think will be anywhere near as good as Lonnie Manila. I'm willing to give it a chance, but Lonnie Manila fit Nancy perfectly, and this new lady's not doing a bad job, but she sounds very stiff half the time. Like, I remember from the end of Sea of Darkness, she was like, "Join me in my next adventure." What the hell? Hey Nancy, Deirdre gave me your number. Sorry about before, I was stressed. Don't worry about it, and thanks for getting in contact. Where can I find the museum? Oh, you're so welcome to come by. We're on the opposite side of the town square from the courthouse. Just turn right and go past the old cemetery. You can't miss it. Thanks, I'll stop by. Great. Great. Oh.
Visitors! By now you know the story of the witches of Salem. Those poor souls were caught in a time of fear and greed, and they paid the price. They may have died, but witchcraft lives on in Salem.
Oh, this should be interesting.
The world would have you believe witches were not real. I'm not talking about old, ugly women who curse their neighbors and fly on broomsticks. The truth is, witches...
She's a street magician?
They have always been real. They are alive and well. They are powerful, carrying the secrets of the world beyond the one we see. Ritual, mystery, magic. Most exist now only in secret, and they may be standing among you even now. It is said that in Salem, a coven of witches settled in recent years, set on revenge for the deaths of the Salem witches. Their ritual, one midnight on Halloween, unleashed the angry spirits of the past.
That's so cool.
How did you do that? Thank you.
Oh,
Now,
so that's
then you
very
can
interesting,
reveal
huh?
the
Looks a lot like the person that stole the book from
I've
us.
tried tours through some of my favorite locations in town, and perhaps you too will see one of the restless dead.
Thief in Austria used the same kind of stage magic she's using.
Thief? There was a thief? What were you doing there?
Visiting a spooky old castle. You'd have liked it.
Do you...
Why is
regularly
Nancy's
fly
voice
to
so
Europe for
quiet?
Investigations?
Sometimes.
And if you want to learn about being a witch, come forward.
Fire at Hathorn House. We all know certain renegades in this town know something or two about fire.
May Perry. You don't think she'd do it again, do you? She was so young.
Wouldn't surprise me. Creeping around
Your
back
mouths aren't
alleys with her
moving.
hood head down. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well, with her history, she's bound to already be in the sights of the neighborhood watch. So we'll find out soon enough.
My thoughts exactly.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Me? Never. Well, nothing too bad, I hope.
Did you know that in the Malleus Maleficarum, ginger hair was the sign of a witch? You're my kind of people.
I'm not nearly as talented as you are.
Aw, shucks. You're making me blush. Oh, there it is. Now I'm turning red. You truly are a witch.
So to become a witch, do I need to take a test or get a diploma?
A true witch is not made with pieces of paper. She is born to it and will feel the call. Bureaucracy is for persecutors. We don't need permission. We don't live by the rules. Anyway, what can I help you with?
I'm gonna take the tour. Oh my gosh.
How did you perform that trick?
A witch never reveals her secrets. It's against the witch code.
So it's too obvious for it to be her.
Bureaucracy and rules
Too
were
obvious.
for persecutors.
Although, if you take my self-guided tour, I promise you will learn at least one secret about being a witch.
How often do you do this show?
Most nights. It gets busier around Halloween. And I'm sure you can figure out why.
How about the night that the Hathorn house was burned?
You look a little young to be working for the police, dear.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. We're just curious tourists.
Good. Because I've already spoken with them.
And so, you were here.
I was out of town. Did you girls know that Salem is haunted? There's a ghost here. If you go on my tour, you'll learn where you can find it.
Have you lived in Salem for long?
Born and raised.
So you know the Perrys?
Of course. Not well. If you were looking for them, Tegan is at the museum. She works there.
Not well. We're staying with Tegan. I figured there was some history between you two.
That was a long time back. We don't talk much now.
And May?
Yes, I know her too. Not spoken to her for a long time either.
But you've heard the rumors about her.
May is a troubled girl, and sometimes such girls get blamed for things that were not their... I don't think she burned down the Hathorn house, if that's what you're trying to get at. People with mundane minds look for mundane explanations.
Do you really believe some modern witch coven unleashed ghosts on Salem?
About 8 years back, there were rumors of a coven. That they performed a ritual to return the dead witches to Salem to seek out their revenge before the witches moved on.
Is there any evidence of such a coven?
Ever since then, ghost sightings have gone through the roof. Salem is now considered the most haunted place in the country.
Interesting.
You think it's a coincidence that the former home of the Hathorns was set on fire?
How else could the fire have started?
I heard there was not a single living soul in the house when it started burning. Keyword, living. The world is composed of two equal parts, dark and light. The light we see every day. It's the trees, the people, the birds. It's our world. You can even see it at night. The dark is the unknown. A plane of existence that vibrates just underneath the light. But if you were in a place like Salem, a place where a painful history permeates every surface, every crack, every brick, and every tomb, the dark will appear. Usually when you least expect it. That's why they say, don't be out past midnight in Salem, because the dark may reach out and take you. Also, did you know that Salem has more ghost sightings than any other city in North America?
Let me guess.
Wanna
If
learn why?
if
You should
yeah,
my
go on your tour. Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Me? Never.
Talk to you later.
Ooh, should we take the witch tour?
How do I take the witch tour? Jeez. Scariest thing in this game isn't frickin'. Jeez. It's the museum. I don't want to go to the museum. I want to go over here.
That group is really chanting up a storm. What has them so angry?
No idea. But I need to go over there. Bye. I'm gonna go inside. Okay. I swear.
Yes, can I help you?
Hi, sorry to bother you, but we were looking for Judge Danforth's office.
Just across the hall. Why? What did you two girls do?
We didn't do.
I'm kidding. Alicia Cole, Esquire.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you. I'm Nancy Drew, and this is Deirdre Shannon. You're a lawyer.
Salem's best. The only practicing lawyer in the historic town limits, if you could believe it. And if you girls were in any trouble,
Wow.
I'd have no problem representing you. You both have that innocent look. Juries love it.
So you're saying we could get away with a crime?
We?
No? Partners in crime?
Sorry to bother you, Miss Cole. We'll check in with the judge. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening. So we met another character.
You'd really become my enemy if I committed a crime?
Sorry. You shouldn't joke about that.
Why? You gonna arrest me?
No, but I'd call the police to report you. I'd also recommend you a decent lawyer, because I'm an excellent witness for the prosecution.
Wow.
I'm a lawyer's daughter, Deirdre. Don't mess with me. Hello? Judge Danforth.
Yeah, hello. Ted, is that you?
Ted?
No, Your Honor. My name is Nancy Drew. I think you've spoken with my father.
Nancy Drew? Carson's daughter?
Yes, and I'm with my friend Deirdre Shannon. We're investigating the arson of the Hathorn house.
Ah, yes, yes.
Can we come in?
Well, you see, no, I mean, I'd let you in, but I seem to have been locked in my office and I need some help.
Okay.
I was hoping we could talk about the Hathorn house case.
Yes, it's a terrible tragedy for our town, but let's table that discussion for later, okay? I'd like to get out of my office first.
I wanted to talk to you about the Book of Apologies. You know, the book in Austria. At the Mosam Castle.
Yes, Nancy, I would love to talk about it, but I would really love if we could do it in person, face to face, as opposed to through this door.
Do you know where I could find a key to your office?
Yes, I believe I gave a copy of the key to Alicia Cole as backup. She's just down
Great.
the hall. I hope she's
Yep.
still here.
She is. We just saw her. But I'm gonna go down here now.
Maybe we can
Whoa.
learn something about the town. Might help May's case.
The lip sync isn't that bad. I'm enjoying the game more and more. I do wish, though, that they still kept the original look. I think I always would have. There's not much. There's very little way I'd prefer this look over the old one.
Yes, can I help you?
Yes, I need a
Said
key.
you might have a key.
Sorry, I gave him my spare. Unbelievable. Does this ever end?
Oh. Well then, do you have a paperclip?
Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, what business do you two have with the judge?
We're helping the judge with a case.
Anything I can assist you with?
Thanks, but I think we got it. No need for a lawyer. At least, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, let's go down here. And then...
Judge Danforth? I couldn't find your key.
What? Alicia said she'd keep a copy for me.
Well, I did find a paperclip. I think I can pick your lock, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Okay.
This shouldn't be too much of a
Whoa.
challenge.
Feel for the pin that gives resistance. Release when the pin's lock is in place. Okay. Gosh dang it. Okay, come on. Now, come on. Okay, so it's... Come on. There we go. And then finally...
Still got it.
Efficient. How'd you learn to do that, actually?
Online video tutorial.
Someday
Oh
you
my
have to
gosh,
tell me
no,
about your secret
Nancy's
life of
not-
breaking and entering, Drew. Because you're
Nancy does
confusing
not
me.
watch online video tutorials.
Honestly, I just don't like.
Someday.
Nope. Very nice wall. Oh, hey. You're just standing in the corner, huh?
Ah, those protesters are out there again, stirring the pot. You know, this town used to be a quiet place. But it seems lately there's been an element that has infiltrated our community. I have no doubt one of those troublemakers locked my door and threw away the key. Now, Nancy, your father and I have discussed.
Oh, sorry. I'm not Nancy.
Of course you're not. You look nothing like Carson. Did your father ever tell you about the time we won 4th place at the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta? You see, at the time I had 20/10 vision, so I was the navigator and...
Judge, this is Deirdre Shannon. She's working with me on the case.
Deirdre, you're the one who tried to break down my door.
Breakdown?
Your Honor, that's an exaggeration. I was knocking. Heavily.
Look, I'm really busy dealing with this Hathorn House business. Being a judge is not as simple as, you know, investigating during your free time.
Well, we just used our free time to unlock your door. So I'm sure you'll be willing to repay us with some answers to our questions. Right?
Yes, of course. How can I help you, girls?
I was told that the burning of Hathorn House is suspected to be a case of arson. How did the police come to that conclusion?
The investigation found paint solvent residue on burnt embers, suggesting someone deliberately used an accelerant. Thankfully, Mrs. Tuttle never had to see what became of her home.
And what evidence do you have that May Perry is the one responsible for this?
Evidence? Have you ever heard of recidivism? 3 out of 4 criminals in the United States are repeat offenders. And there's only one person in all of Salem who has a history of fire-related crime.
So, there is no evidence.
Not yet, but there will be.
You don't need evidence. She's already been convicted in the court of public opinion.
Is that what she said?
No, I'm saying it.
She has a history with this sort of thing.
What's May's motive? What does she gain by burning down the Hathorn house?
You'd have to ask her, and while you're at it, you can ask about her alibi, which she refused to give to the police. So, any other questions?
Can you explain to us how you're involved with the Hathorn house?
Well, yes. The house was built by Judge John Hathorn during the 1600s, and it represented the oldest surviving structure from that era. Judge Hathorn, of course, was one of the 3 judges that presided over the Salem witch trials.
Yes, and I'm sure we can read all about the home's history in Salem's museum.
More recently, Francis Tuttle, Judge Hathorn's last direct descendant, lived in a small section of the house while the rest was left to fall into considerable disrepair. She was alone, except for a part-time caregiver, Lauren Holt, who had a bedroom in the carriage house. A few months ago, Francis Tuttle passed away, which left Hathorn House without a legal heir. According to the historical statutes of Salem, after 90 days, the house reverts to public property, the deadline of which is 2 days from now, at midnight.
So, how did Francis Tuttle pass away exactly?
The woman was 88 years old. The coroner confirmed her death was of natural causes.
So they never investigated Lauren Holt.
You need the suspicion of foul play to investigate someone, young lady.
We'd like to speak with her all the same.
She still lives on the estate, although for how much longer we do not know. You can also find her in her shop, Luminous Infusions. She might be willing to talk to you.
So the Book of Apologies. Why did you really need it?
Yes, and first of all, I'm so glad you're all right. Nasty business. Had I known you were going to be put in harm's way, I would have never called Carson and asked for his help.
I've done plenty of work for my father. Trust me. I can handle myself.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
So I've already heard some stories, but would you mind giving me your version of why the book is important?
Yes, so Judge Sewell was rumored to keep a ledger of all the accused, intending to publish it to reconcile with their families and clear their names. But he passed away before he could do so.
Going to Austria for a rumored book seems like a heck of a long shot.
Well, I have been under some pressure from the AW group. AW as in accused witches.
Interesting. So... Interesting.
Don't you think it's dangerous throwing around May's name as a suspect before any evidence links her to the crime?
Very
What do you
interesting.
mean?
Anyway,
What are you saying?
it's
From what
pretty
you
just
described, there is
pretty
no
obvious what I'm
evidence against May. Yet you were
saying.
saying that she did it. As a judge, I think you would be the first to admit that sounds prejudicial.
It is not just me, Miss True. There are plenty of people who believe that May is responsible for this crime. It is not prejudice when she is the only likely suspect.
Actually, that is the definition of prejudice.
I'm not going to have this debate with you. Is there anything else?
Talk to you later.
Miss True, before you go, there is something else.
more help.
You're not locked out of your car, are you?
Oh. There was an incident here recently. Someone
Really?
broke into the evidence room.
Oh. Have you called the police?
Well, no, not yet. I don't think anything was taken. Never mind. I'll call the police. Thank you for your time.
Wait, hold
Can
on.
I help you, girls?
Talk to you later. That group is really chanting up a storm. What has them so angry?
I don't know what. Hold on. I don't know what has him so angry. Oh. Okay. When is...
Now this accused witches group shows up from out of nowhere and thinks they're entitled to the Hathorn property.
Didn't they find proof for their claim? It's only fair.
How far back do these reparations have to go? It's been hundreds of years. Nobody owes these loudmouths squat. It's a bid for attention and money.
Must every response be outrage? I miss the peace and quiet.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Hi.
Talk to you later.
Okay, I Don't know when I can go on the tour, but I guess that'd be a while.
It's locked.
It's
Shops aren't making a lot of business right now.
oh jeez.
The Salem Museum. Prime address for local history and information on the infamous witch trial.
Infamous witch trap.
The Salem Museum. Prime address for local...
Wait, isn't there wasn't there a setting for dialogue skipping on? Well, what's the setting? I'm glad that we have dialogue skipping, but if I don't know how to do dialogue skipping, does it matter? Oh. Remember the wrongly accused. May history never be repeated. The
figure of a Puritan woman accused of being a witch. These were ordinary people, just like anyone else.
These are the most enduring and emotional events in American history. You need to stop. What in the heck am I doing? Ooh.
Done. This looks great. Now to find a nice place to put it.
I found a pumpkin.
Hey, sorry about the mess. We're in the middle of installing a big showcase. So what have
Okay.
you seen in town so far?
We decided to do the Real Witches tour.
Oh, you talked to Olivia.
What's with her getup? Witch? Street magician, maybe?
Everyone has to make a living. Is she telling the story about a coven living here in the recent past?
Yeah. Why?
Just bad taste.
Olivia is quite the local character. I hope you don't mind if we do the tour. I want to see more of the town, and finding out a place's old superstitions is kind of a habit I've gotten into. I'm excited to look around the museum.
Of course. How's the investigating going? Any progress with May?
No. Leads, but no progress with May.
With May, though. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions. If you
Well,
have
he asked a
time.
lot of
Sure thing.
questions.
How can I help?
Yeah, what's the deal with
the
these
deal with
pumpkins?
these
I'm actually really
pumpkins?
curious.
Oh, yeah. I've prepared some pumpkins that visitors can carve and bring with them to place around Salem. Feel free to give it a try if you want. It's really fun and completely free.
What's this new showcase about?
Yes, this new showcase is going to be really cool. Just in time for Halloween, you know?
But what is it about?
If you come back on Halloween, I'll show you.
Talk to you later.
Kind of weird to be putting out this game in December.
Closed off. Looks like they're preparing a new installation.
A new installation. Wait, hold on. I want to try something.
Hi, Nancy. Hope everything's okay. I'm a little busy right now, but I can ask a question or two. What can I help you with?
Hey, Tegan. Of course, everything's fine. Just checking in with you.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm sorry for being snappy earlier. I've just been so... I've got everything under control. It's May that worries me. She acts tough, but she's still just a kid. And it makes me so angry that people will jump to conclusions when they don't even know her.
I understand that. I promise I won't judge her unfairly. But also, don't forget to take care of yourself.
Thank you. I'll try not to let the town get to me.
I'm good for now. I'll let you get back to work.
Alright, see you tonight. I hope you make good progress today. May doesn't show it, but she's really counting on you.
Thanks. I'll do my best to get to the bottom of this. See you soon.
That's hilarious. Oh, there's a book on that shelf over there. Salem of yesterday. I'm okay.
Sad that even children are named in the list of those accused witches. Like Abigail Johnson, just 11.
Oh my gosh. That is jeez.
Everything you could ever want to know about Salem's history, from the Namkiag people to the Great Salem Fire of 1914.
I was prepared. Okay. Well, I think that is about to do it for this episode of Nancy Drew, Midnight in Salem. And you know what, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna just start saying do Maestro. There we go. So, back to the menu. I'm really enjoying this. It reminds me a lot of mainly Sea of Darkness with the chop there and those things. It just reminds me a lot of that. And I really am enjoying this. Like, don't get me wrong. I think everyone is over exaggerating a little bit. I think that this is a good game. I don't feel like this is as. I don't think this is going to be as good as any of the past ones. Just mainly because we've come across one puzzle. Two, technically. And 90% of it otherwise has been talking. We don't need that much talking. There are a lot of talking in games, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot more puzzles, too. I mean, so far I've been playing for almost an hour, and I only reached 2 puzzles. Now, to be fair, I'm taking my time. But we'll see how many are in the end. But this is not as bad as I think everyone's letting it out to be. The other thing is, though, not everyone has a computer, so I understand people's outrage with it not being able to run as well. But, I mean, I feel like I can't expect Her Interactive to have the perfect game coming out of a 5-year hiatus. And, this is really a test, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's a paid test, but it's a test nonetheless. Just like how Ghost of Thornton Hall was kind of a test for the skipping conversation button. I feel like it's a similar thing in that aspect. I am enjoying this though. I've been waiting so long for this, and I do have another complaint, but it's not totally on Her Interactive side. I really wanted the physical copy. Please don't stop making physical copies, Her Interactive. Even if you only sell them on your site, please don't stop making them. The paper in the cases is different than paper we find at home, so I couldn't even print out one. I like the physical copies. And unfortunately, with Her Interactive being the way they are, their download stuff, as it's always been, you have 30 days, you could pay for a couple of years, but then it's gone after those couple of years are up. It looks like they're starting to release everything on Steam, though, so if you really wanted to, you could purchase a download on Steam as well. But I'm really enjoying this, and I hope that they bring this to consoles. I heard that that's what they wanted to do, and put it in VR. That's what I heard. So who knows? But what I also think they should do is they really should. They should create their own thing like Steam has, for example. I know that this is a bit another launcher. I know it's another launcher you have to download. But if they did the launcher, or they could just do an update, like a patch, and then you just have to install the patch. People could download the patch and install it, but you'd have to have the game, obviously. It would make it so much easier for them to be able to fix things if there were anything wrong with the game. Then they could put it out sooner, and they could adjust it as they go along in case anything's found. Doing it this way is so risky. It's incredibly risky. Because you never know if there's going to be a glitch, and if there is a glitch, you may never be able to fix it. Especially if you have the physical copy, because the game files I have are on the disc. That's the only way I can play it. Otherwise, you know, there's no other way. I'm going to search up My Poo Me Games, by the way. I want to know what that's about. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.